Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Please join the Bybit competition that we're running right here. The WASOT 2024 live stream giveaway will commence on October the 29th, and you could be in with a chance to win a Rolex watch, a luxury yacht, or world travel tickets. All you've got to do is click the link in the video description, go along, sign up, put your name in the hat, job done, and you've got the chance to win one of these amazing prizes right here. Equally, join my crew, get involved in this competition, and let's smash it. Let's dive into the video right now and see what we can see, okay? So dive into XRP then. I did make a video about this time last year. I remember it really well. I was on holiday with my family at the time, and I was looking at the scenario of a dead cat bounce in the DXY, and it's a very important video that I made because it was a major clue in the DXY that we were looking at a vertical and upside in Bitcoin especially, and obviously on a lot of them altcoins. So it was a video. I'll drop the link in the video description for you. Take a look at that because it explains what a dead cat bounce is. I will go through that with you today because we've seen something on the tether dominance, and equally there was a comment on one of the XRP videos the other day, and on a recent XRP video that, you know, I'll show you right now that all I'm trying to do is educate you in the space. Okay, so let me dive into that comment and I'll show you what I'm looking at. But please do watch this video. It's from last year and this played out beautifully. This was the, you know, the confluence that I found in the DXY to the big third wave for Bitcoin, and that wave came. It was a beautiful move. We got the big wave up, and you know, Bitcoin, as anticipated, made new all-time highs right there. And you know, the clue was in the DXY, and we may have a little clue right now in the tether dominance, which I shown you last week, which is why I jumped into some long ops across the board here. Go and watch the video. The link's in the video description. So quickly diving into this comment then, what I try and do on this channel, for those people that have been on the channel for a very long time, they know I try and bring a level of education here, okay? I don't always get, you know, things right and don't always get them wrong. It's trading. This is riding the waves. We've not got a crystal ball on this channel. A lot of people think, you know, you've got to have some kind of mystic crystal ball. It's not. It's a game of probabilities, and we try and play that game to the best of our ability. You know, find shorts, I find longs, find spot bids and things like that. And this is what we do on the channel. For example, a few weeks ago, went short, now long, and we're doing okay, okay? So against herd mentality, last week when everyone was really fearful, again, another phrase is, you know, when others are fearful, be greedy, and when others are greedy, be fearful. You know, those that pick bottoms get smelly fingers. There's all sorts of sayings that I relay to you, you know, in the channel, you know, and this is one as well, the dead cat bounce. I would imagine a lot of you are educated enough now in this space to know what that is, the dead cat bounce, okay? And this guy put BC0601, I'm saying the guy, it could be a woman, who knows, but the dead cat bounce, for real, please don't even try to coin another phrase. That is so ridiculous, it's pathetic. Well, if you'd have just took time out instead of, you know, the time out to, you know, basically write this comment, if you'd have just Googled that particular phrase, you would have seen what it exactly meant. And I'll show you exactly what it means in today's video, and why I was looking at opportunity, given the inverse correlation with tether right there, and why I was looking at dead cat bounce on Friday with you as an opportunity to jump into some long positions and spot positions across the board. And so far, we're playing out and we're making money. So let me dive in right now to show you exactly what I was looking at. Looking at DXY then, this is part of the confluence analysis last year, you know, dead cat bounce. Look at this beautiful move. For those people that have not been with the channel, please check out that video. I'm sure a lot of you remember that video. I made it around about a year ago. And so far so good. Exactly what I was looking at, played out as anticipated. The dead cat bounce into the 0.5 fib, and then the breakdown in this chart, which would lead to the verticals in Bitcoin and, you know, altcoins basically. So what I'm looking at, I've been looking at this for a very long time. I didn't expect XRP to make all-time highs until we start to see the break of this low. And this is something I relay to you as well, because, you know, this is alt season, and this is what this was there. This is your break of this low, this is your break of this low, this is a drop, this is a drop, and this is exactly where you see your alt seasons. And right now we're gearing up for it. If we start to see a retracement, a bearish retracement into this particular chart, and then the drop and the loss of this low, this is your alt season. This is your big push up in alts, and right now we're on cue basically. So I think possibly where we are, really simple, we're somewhere about we were there, you know, September 2017 retracement 20, drop, just there, September October 2020 retracement, drop, and right now look at us, we're retracing into it October, September, and then we're looking at a drop. So if we get that drop right on cue, like that big move there and that big move there, then we've got it, we nailed it. And you know, the DXY is the clue right there, and I've been relaying this for you so long till I'm blue in the face that this last drop here to the downside is where your big blow off top comes in your alt season. Really simple. So there's a bit of confluence there that what we've done is potentially have that retracement down, we come up, boom, dead cat bounce into the 0.5 fib. So basically price reacts to news and swiftly moves along the trend. So you're coming up, yeah, taking off, and then boom, you break down. You have your correction, which comes down in the first leg, which is basically a A wave. Your B wave retraces the 0.5 fib, which is basically a retracement around about 50%, and then boom, you continue with the trend. So at the moment, the overall trend, the macro trend here for the DXY is really simple. You're retracing 0.5 fib, and from there, you're actually making lower highs and lower lows right now in this particular chart. So if you break the trend and you start to create an uptrend, then that's the time to be bearish on XRP. And we won't expect this final leg to the downside, which loses that pivot low, which is where your vertical and your risk blow off top comes from, because of exactly what happened there and exactly what happened there. Let me show you right now. So I'm looking at a potential scenario. We're going to get a retracement as anticipated. This is part of my confluence a few weeks ago. I said to you that the DXY is overextended. We should see a retracement. We've got exactly that, and this is where you will see a correction in crypto. So it was part of my confluence a few weeks ago. For those people paying attention, that the DXY is overextended from its 20, just like it was here. Overextended, come back up, boom. Just there, overextended, come back up, boom. So if we get this and we roll over, this is it. This is the go time. So if we take a look at these two times just there for the DXY, really simply, let's drop the XRP chart in for you right now. And I've gone through this analysis so many times with yourselves. Let's change the color on that. So if we take a look, in this previous cycle, XRP is going sideways. This is running to 20, and when it breaks down, boom, big vertical. In this cycle here, running to the 20. When it breaks down, boom, big vertical here. Doing exactly what we've done here, going sideways, possibly run to 20. If it breaks down, loses that pivot low, like that pivot low was lost and that pivot low was lost, this is coming down, and this is your your vertical in XRP. Really simple. I can't make it more simple than that. So basically what I'm looking for is the invalidation of my theory that this is going to do this. I'm looking for this to do something like that, to get incredibly bearish on XRP, but at the minute I just don't see it. So I'm not a moon-tard, bull-tard, whatever. This is the scenario I spoke about for so many years with people paying attention. The potential ABC zigzag, the risk below top, the end of the cycle comes when we see this chart break down below that pivot point. Really simple. Okay, so if this does break down below this pivot point, this is a major clue to the vertical in XRP anyway, because if we take a look at the XRP chart, I'll drop it in for you again right now. We take a look really simply on this breakdown here in July of 2023, which is where XRP had that run up into July as well. So this bottomed and this top, this has been corrective ever since. This has been corrective ever since. Okay, so at this point, this is where if this does start to break out like this, XRP will flush down, and then it's not as bullish as I think. And then obviously if it starts to roll over and sweeps this low, this is it. The stage is set. That's there. This is the flush. This is there. Boom. This is here as well. This is the flush. This is this stage. Boom. So I wouldn't take it off the table, and this is why I do remain bullish on XRP, although obviously retracing, we're coming back, oh no, it's going to zero, it's so nasty and horrible and things like that. But I think the stage is set, and the stage will come really quickly. It will only last for a few weeks, if not a month or whatever, but these big impulses, these big moves from XRP do not last very long, and this is something I've relayed to you. So I do think if we do get the breakdown here, the retracement, and we roll over, losing that pivot low from July and XRP is doing something like that is a major clue that XRP is about to do that. So please stay tuned. Okay, I wish you all the luck in the world. I'm looking for the invalidation, but at the minute I just don't see it. Let me dive into the tether dominance chart right now to show you exactly why I jumped into them spot and long positions on XRP last week. So this is a really important chart, and I'm going to be as far as I can in this video. I'm going to show you a few charts just to build my analysis and the confidence I'm looking across the board that we are looking at a major move up in risk. And obviously I'm looking, and obviously crypto, but I'm looking for the invalidation of such, and I'll go through as to why I do think we're looking at vertical. And a lot of people think I'm making it up, but this is why I do think it's the last stage, because of this particular chart as well, and obviously what we're seeing in the DXY. So it is really important we do pay attention to that DXY chart right there. If we do lose the pivot low, I think it's around about 99.5%, I think, off the top of my head. Go to the DXY chart. The ticker is DXY. If you look at that, it's the A wave pivot low, which was July last year. If we see the DXY lose that low, then wow, expect a vertical and risk. And not that we're not getting that already in Bitcoin and the S&P 500 as anticipated right there. But what we've got, in my opinion at the moment, is this chart is absolute boss. Basically, this is one of the most important charts I'm looking at as an inverse correlation, because on the micro we've been looking at this opportunity, and I relayed this to you. Just there we went long, just there we went short, and last week with the confluence of this particular chart and its retracement to the dead cat bounce zone, and equally the rising wedge on a 4-hourly time frame with the bearish divergence, this is where we jump back into some longs and spot positions. We're doing incredibly well. Really simple against herd mentality right there. We're just looking at inverse correlation. So this chart, I'm using this chart to trade on the micro. I think it's amazing, and I've actually built an indicator on CoinsKid.com. It's the BTC and the USD in the top right corner. there's basically a counter, trade there. If you see BTC above 70, USD below 30, you sell Bitcoin. If you see the USD above 70 and BTC below 30, you buy Bitcoin. Really, really simple. And this is what we've been respecting, for the past few weeks here, and we're doing incredibly well just off that little indicator right there. So I'm getting a notification system out for the CoinsKid crew, potentially pinging it to the Discord server right there, directly into their inbox. So do stay tuned for that particular update. So what we've got right now, from this double top drop here, way back late November 2022, we've got the major vertical that began here for Bitcoin at the bottom. So as this began to break down, this particular chart, the tether dominance, take a look. Possible 1 into a zigzag 2, a 3 into an overlapping zigzag 4, and then the continuation of the breakdown here towards this neckline where you form this channel. So if we see this final fifth wave, okay, this is your final fifth wave for Bitcoin, and this is your blow off top as well, the final leg which I'm anticipating for Bitcoin, and then the final leg in altcoins. So there's a clue in this chart, because I think if it starts to break up like this and takes out the resistance point and gets to this neckline, then I'm wrong in the short term, and we just sell our positions in crypto and Bitcoin, XRP, so on and so forth, and then just buy back on that trend line just there. But I think there's a chance here. I think there's a chance what we're doing is exactly what we've done last year. So we've got the 1 into the sideways 2, the 3 into the overlapping zigzag 4, and right now we're bottomed in this particular chart for Bitcoin and topped here, and right now we're making a series of lower highs and lower lows here. So we're rolling over as Bitcoin's beginning this higher uptrend structure. Really, really simple, okay? So this is what I'm looking at. This is a formation of the next leg to the upside. This is a formation of the next leg to the downside. We see this is your last leg, because you've got a 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4, into a 5. The 5-wave counter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all out. Really, really simple. So if you see 5 waves up, you're all out. If you see 5 waves in, you're all down, you're all in. And this is where we get into USD and we get out of Bitcoin. Really simple. If we see this, and it's a big if, remember, I've not got a crystal ball, but this is what I'm keeping my eyes on for you over the next few weeks here. What I'm looking at is the fact that this is no different from this. This is basically your top here for Bitcoin. Look at that. In April, this had an ABC coming back up. It was a flat correction. This was a flat correction. Then we bolted in the third wave. Then we had this major flush of the downside. From this point here, this peak, we've had basically a WXY correction coming up. We peaked just there, WXY correction for Bitcoin, and right now we're beginning uptrend structure, and this is beginning downtrend structure at this point, just like it did here. Okay, so what we're looking for, really simple, to get incredibly bullish on risk, and you could wait for this, you could de-risk at the moment, you could just jump ship, wait on the sidelines. If this happens, wow, expect a vertical. Really simple, lose this ascending trend line, and this will flush down like it did there last year. Okay, if we see this, get back into crypto. Really, really simple. Okay, so again, I'm not your financial advisor, but this is set I'm looking at the moment. We've got this high, we've got lower highs, we've got lower lows, and right now that's a very important pivot point that we put in. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? And right now we come up and still making these lower highs. So if we start to see this bearish retracement and it drops, losing this ascending trend line like it did there, wow, expect this flush on the downside. Well, that would be the minimal target where you form this bearish rising channel for basically the tether dominance. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the bullish setup in the short term, bearish setup. If it starts to create reversal structure, takes out that pivot point, then expect Bitcoin to absolutely roll over and shit the bed, and obviously XRP with that. But I remain cautiously bullish here because of the structure that we've got from this pivot point just there, which is the same structure as what we got at the top of this, lower highs, lower lows. In actual fact, what we do have, if you take a look at this point here, we may have a 1-2, 1-2 setup in this particular chart before flush, just like we got here. 1-2, 1-2 setup before the flush. So if we see the flush in the month of October, like we did there in the month of October, it's rinse repeat on Crypto Street. This last leg to the downside, this is your last leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all into dominance, all into the tether, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All out of Bitcoin, back into tether dominance, and the inverse correlation is staring us in the face. So I'll keep an update for you as best I can, but in recent times we have traded this on the micro. We jumped into a little trade on the Friday time frame, and I'll go through that as to why. Let me zoom in, okay? So looking at the tether dominance then, USDT.D, I'm going to get into the XRP chart in a moment with you, but looking at the tether dominance today, we are, riding these waves, micro and macro obviously, but what we've got is a beautiful inverse correlation here. It's disgusting. So if I spot patterns, bullish or bearish in this particular chart, we're going to trade them going forward, okay? So you've got a beautiful double bottom here, high, low, boom, broke out, God candle, look at that. Coming up stairs, back test, some small little rising wedge just there, back test that support, and then you broke out in a huge move. Then you created this rising wedge on the tether dominance just there. This is where at this point, last week on Thursday I was relaying to you, wow, we've got bearish channel here, we've got a bullish divergence as well on the hourly, really overbought, boom, 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 coming down the stairs, lower highs, higher highs, bearish divergence, broke down, back test of resistance, boom, look at that. Beautiful, right back down to the target, ABC back up, lower high, and then we drop in right into the buy zones on this particular chart. Look at that. So basically buy zones are short zones and sell zones. So what we've done, we've bounced right on that God candle back test. Look at that. So what we've got, if you take a look above, we've got another God candle back test. So I don't expect this chart to continue to roll over from this point until it has another ABC back up into that resistance. So at the minute you could be looking at some kind of micro ABC within Bitcoin and XRP within itself to backtest that leg of resistance just there, you know, previous support on the tether dominance, which is basically a backtest of support for Bitcoin. Really simple. So we're riding these waves and we're doing inverse correlation. So what I'm looking at is basically an ABC here, then a final flush to the downside to this target here, the God candle backtest. So that's a clue. If you want to remain in your spot positions at the moment, you know, you should be looking to take profit on those spot positions and look for a big boy bounce on this chart that does something like that at that point there, and equally on that trend line again. But what I'm looking at in this particular chart, and I'll show you in a moment, is the fact that that's a bearish retracement at the moment. It's a 0.5 fib, which is basically a dead cat bounce. At this point, this is where I relay to you, dead cat bounce zone, beautiful. This should start to come back down the stairs, and this should start to come back up the stairs, and obviously with that XRP as well. This is why I entertained long positions and spot positions last week against all the herd mentality and the fear. So in the short term, ABC back up, then a continuation down, and then a big boy bounce here, which is where basically you're looking at some kind of 1, 2, 3 up for Bitcoin, then a retracement come back down to hold this low as this holds this high, because this is your dead cat bounce zone for this particular chart. Okay, if this does this, then what we've got is a push to the downside, a retracement, and then you drop, losing this ascending trend line. So we'll keep an eye on this as best we can, because if we lose this ascending trend line, this is where Bitcoin and all the verticals come from in risk, and I've just shown you an earlier part of the video. So we'll keep an eye on this. Obviously the structure within this chart is really important. At the moment we've possibly got a bearish retrace, and right now we're coming back like this, okay, in waves. See a big boy bounce just there, come back up, make the lower high. We'll try and find a bearish pattern or whatever. You know, obviously the invalidations come up even further, and it's not a dead cat bounce at that point. And then also we're looking for a retracement, and then Bitcoin to absolutely explode. And obviously with that, then you've got your confluence of XRP taking off as well. So what we've got really simply is a dead cat bounce. So this is the final push down, which is where, if you take a look at Bitcoin really simply, is an inverse correlation. This peak just down that neckline, this is where Bitcoin bottomed. And that move up, let's have this move down. This is a retracement, this is a retracement, okay? So at the moment what we're looking at, really simple. This has been a 50% retracement so far. If it does come up like this and rolls over, back tests and starts to come back up like this, it's going to get really squeaky bum time, okay, where Bitcoin comes back even deeper than I actually anticipate here, and where this could potentially break out this high. If we do start to see the tether dominance taking out that September high, then Bitcoin's in a world of trouble, in my opinion, and obviously XRP as well. But at the minute I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. I think what we've got is really simple. We're coming down, we're breaking out here, we're breaking out for Bitcoin, and we're breaking down for this chart. We've got lower highs and lower lows in this particular chart. So this is your top, and this is your bottom for Bitcoin. Right now this is some kind of move to the downside for this particular chart, some kind of descending triangle from left to right, where we're looking for lower highs in this particular chart before the breakdown. I'll keep updated as best I can for you on this particular chart, but what we've got really simply, from that pivot high to this pivot low, we've retraced at the moment, and we've hit the dead cat bounce zone, which is what I've shown you on the DXY. So 0.5 fib, looking at 50% retracement, and right now we're continuing with this trend. If we do start to see some kind of structure like this, we come down, come up, and we lower highs, and we sweep this ascending trend line, and Bitcoin to do something like this, and it's really breaking out as this breaks down, and with that XRP's taking off as well. So let me show you another chart, which is why I do remain bullish on XRP. I know I'm going on a lot today, but I'm trying to be as thorough as I can in my analysis with you. This breaking this pivot point high is super bearish for XRP. Losing this pivot point low and this ascending trend line in the tether dominance is super bullish for XRP. Let me show you the S&P 500 right now, okay? So looking at S&P 500, I think those solves all the clues as well to the major breakdown in Bitcoin and risk as well. Okay, and what we're doing at the moment, we are holding a potential parabolic growth curve here in this particular chart that could potentially see us get to the 2 fib here. So my minimal target has always been, in this particular chart, for those people paying attention, my minimal target has always been another impulsive move to the 1.618 at an absolute minimal. We are literally, from this point right now, we are literally, what are we? We're roughly around about 1.74% away from that target being met, which is a target for those people paying attention. This is an actual target I gave you way back here in early January of 2023 right there. I said to you, this chart's looking incredibly bullish, because what we've had is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corrected waves to the swing high. From that, all we've done, swing high, swing low, find support, over you go. So I'm looking to break this high, and you know, it's not going to do it overnight, but slowly but surely in waveforms, go up and down, we break out. I'm looking at these targets, and there's a little bit, you know, beautiful confluence in this particular fib right now, because what we've done, if you take a look, 1.272 correction, look at that, 1414 correction, and right now we're following suit, we're following through. So I think there will be a major clue in this particular chart as to a bear bear market coming in crypto and obviously risk basically. So we've got this beautiful base 1, beautiful base 2, base 3, and right now we're looking for another extension here to get to the potential 2 fib, which is basically where we were there. Okay, so I'll go through this with you. So if we take a look at this time frame, I did relay this in a recent video to you, we've got a correction just there late 2020 before the major vertical into 2021, and right now we've had a correction just there, some kind of flat correction before the continuation of potential vertical to the 2 fib in 2025. So again, what happened here? Really simple. We saw altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP really take off. So this is what I'm looking at as equally another bit of confidence in this particular chart to my blow off top theory right now. So again, we'll keep an eye on this chart because this is a parabolic growth curve right now. It's getting tight, but if we start to come up and we break down below this, just like the breakdown on DXY I've shown you all them years ago, that is a very big warning shot for a potential ABC zigzag to come back. So at that point, breaking down below this parabolic growth curve, we have to get bearish on risk. Okay, so again, I remain cautiously bullish because at the minute we've got some kind of flat correction right there and we're coming up. So my primary count on this particular chart, for those people paying attention, is really simple. I think this is a 1, an expanded flat 2, and I relayed that to you at the time. We've had a potential third wave which is coming up here, and like I said to you, I think this is cooked there. Okay, so with the third wave, really simple. I've taught you this. What we do see in third waves is the 3 of 3, and I've relayed this on Bitcoin for you. Okay, the 3 of 3. So basically what we've got is a 1 into expanded flat 2, then this was a 1 into a 2 into a 3. What did the 3 do? It broke the all-time high, which is where we see that. So basically the 1 into the 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 waves up from this bottom here. You're cooked. You've had your 5 waves up in 3. So I think 3 is done. And I think what we've gone through here is an expanded flat wave 4, and right now it's your final 5th wave coming up. So this is it. The stage is set. Just like this move up, this is your stage is set for the final leg up here, which is confluence analysis of verticals in Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, VeChain, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm looking at this until I'm not. I think, you know, the invalidation of that will be if we start to break down. So from this point here, we're looking at something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading towards a 2 fib at around about 2. The 2 fib is 6, 6, 3, 4, and that's it. If we start to come up like this and come up like this and start to come up and we break down below this curvature of the potential parabolic growth curve, that's it. It's game over. ABC coming back down. Your big bear market for this particular chart. Okay, so this is something I've been looking at for a very long time. We'll keep an eye on this. So any confluence up, down in the crypto markets right there. So at the moment, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. We're not quite at my target just set, the 1.618, where I expect to come up, go sideways in the correction, and continue into the new year here, which is basically the correction there, blow off top, blow off top. So we're looking at that. So far so good. This has been an amazing trade for myself and confluence to those people, you know, that have been paying attention. This is confluence my analysis of, you know, we would see some beautiful moves up in crypto, especially for Bitcoin. So like I've taught you, number 1 is this, number 2 is Bitcoin, number 3 is Ethereum. So pay attention to Ethereum. If we do start to see Ethereum bottom and create them beautiful impulses right there, and it breaks out and makes all-time highs, then it's caught up basically, and it's the end phase, and I've relayed that to you. And then boom, we're looking at alt season and, you know, XRP coming up, which is pretty much what we're seeing there from 2020 into 2021. We got that move up. So again, I relay to you, if it starts to come up at some point and breaks down below this beautiful parabolic growth curve which is forming right now, this is the end stage. Okay, this is it. This is you get our crypto moment, and at that point we should expect to see some kind of bottoming pattern on the DXY, which I relay to you as well. Okay, so I hope I've been as far as I can with these videos today with you, but let me dive into the XRP chart right now to show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so looking at XRP on the weekly time frame at the moment, but so far so good. If we take a look, got beautiful compression here. There's your pivot points at the moment for me, okay, for XRP, and we're doing something like that. So you can clearly see there's some kind of spring action going on here, isn't it? Some kind of compression over a long period of time from that previous bull market top to your bear market bottom to retracement high to your retracement higher low, and then retracement lower high, and then another retracement higher low. So you're making a series of higher lows and a series of lower highs. You're getting really compressed, and a potential horizontal that you've come up into. So if we get the breakout, see you later. You're in a vertical here for XRP, and you know the confluence may be and may lie in what we're seeing with the DXY breaking down and the S&P 500 breaking out. So we need to pay attention to those charts, not just the XRP chart. I know a lot of people get bored, and you know the myth is to wire show over charts, but this is just confidence in my analysis, and so far so good. We're nailing this market. So I think in the micro we shouldn't get too concerned in the short term until we start to break below this key pivot point that we put in July of this year, because there is a chance, and I relayed this to you, that this is actually the start of a major move to the upside, which is a third wave. And I've gone through this with you so many times, because if we measure this move of this potential wave 1 into the 2, 2, which is what I think it is at the moment. So from this market here, we've got an ABC correction, and we've got a truncation ABC, and in here we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is why at this point I did think that was a truncation. From there, we've seen our first 5 wave move up, first little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is leading diagonal. From there, we've had a potential wave 2, which is bottomed and retraced to this low on the 786 fib, and right now we're breaking bullish. We're looking incredibly bullish at this point until we're not, obviously, and I'll show the invalidation of such, but we're looking incredibly bullish from this point. Although it doesn't feel like it, there may be confluence in other charts that I'll show you. So in theory, if it is a 1 into a 2, then the third wave is what comes up and breaks the high. So for some reason, we should be looking at a high to break the high soon, basically 3, 4, 5, and that's it. You're looking at the end of the bull market, and then you roll into the big bear market, which possibly comes all the way back down to these lows. Who knows? No one's got a crystal ball, but that's what I'm looking at. So basically, the overall count is really, really simple. You've had a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a 5. This is your last leg of a bigger macro move that began way back there. So some kind of big impulse followed by a big bear market, and this is something I've been looking at with yourselves. This is why I didn't think at this point we'd enter the bear market, and so far so good. We have had that simple ABC, the A, the B, the C. We hold a high low structure, and right now we're coming up in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, which is leading diagonal, WXY correction, which is holding this high low structure, and right now we've had a first little impulse here for XRP with a correction in here. So this is what I'm looking at. So over the next few months leading into the most bullish months in crypto, October, November, December, if we see a major move up here, this move would not surprise me, because it's what I've been looking at. And then you can clearly see from left to right, you've got your compression like this on these pivot points, so you can see it's like a spring within itself. So I don't know what it is, whether it's fueled by good news or something, I just don't know, but there is a potential scenario where this absolutely takes off like this. This is your 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, and then you're up there for some unknown reason. But anyway, I'm looking for the invalidation of that. The invalidation in short term is that pivot low that we're pulling in July. If it loses that, then obviously we're looking at a deeper correction. If we lose that, then I'm completely wrong, and XRP's in a world of trouble, and this is some kind of A, B, and then you roll into the depths right here, and it's not looking incredibly bullish. But I'm looking for the clues to that, and I just don't see them at the moment until I start to see the confluence in the DXY breaking bullish market structure, breaking bearish market structure, which it's currently in. I've shown you that earlier in the video right there, and obviously the S&P 500 breaking down. If we see those two things in sync, then XRP will shit the bed. Really simple. But until then, we've got bullish setups across the board, and for XRP right towards the compression here of some kind of coiled spring action, isn't it? So I wish you all the most luck on the micro. I will try and find trades for you as best we go, but at the minute, a little micro short into that support right there, and then we look for micro longs. Pay attention to the tether dominance. So this is my primary expectation. Okay, I wish you all the most luck. If we break out that key pivot point, the July high last year, which is basically your July low for the DXY, keep an eye on that. If you break that 9, 4, 6 foot, then this chart's going to be vertical. Really, really simple. Okay, and it's the 1, the 2, and this is your third wave, which always comes up and breaks the resistance point. It did it exactly a 1, 2. This is a 3, 4, 5. The third wave come up, broke that, which is basically where I think we are right now. It's a potential scenario right before the cusp of a vertical. I wish you most luck. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to a new update on XRP. Bye bye.